When you hit the main stage, you were the man in the arena. You didn't take criticism from people in the fucking cheap seats.
It doesn't matter the game, age 5, age 3, the dude is unreal.
Annihilated absolutely everyone.
I don't think I've seen him play a bad game with Halo.
9 times out of 10, the decision he makes is the right one.
He knows what he's going to do 5, 6 steps ahead.
He's insane mechanically.
He very well might be a robot.
The greatest Halo player of all time.
Good morning, everybody. Today is the morning. We're going to get the number 1 and number 2 reveal of the Halo Top 25, and I cannot wait. Also, just so much excitement going through my body right now because we're also going to get glimpses of Halo Infinite today, and then of course multiplayer hopefully starts tomorrow. All those announcements have yet to come, but I do want to bring in our panel, our live reaction panel. It's going to be Nighty Night and Mr. Why Not Be Reckless, Why Not Be Casting. Boys, how are we feeling? Nighty, let's start with you.
Oh, well, I feel great. After last night, seeing, Infinite this weekend, what we get to play, I woke up this morning with this unbelievable feeling that Halo is just at the top right now. Everybody's just anticipating it. We've got the very last of the top 25 today, and we find out who is the true GOAT. Man, it's going to be a great day.
Absolutely. And then the man that everybody loves, Mr. Why Not Be Casting. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. I mean, all of these videos, the whole top 25 list, all the disrespect has been up until this moment right here where we released the number 2, number 1. So happy to be here with you, Brandon, and you, Nighty. In case you guys don't know me, Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting, and I'm kind of a freaking big deal. If you don't know, now you know. You're looking good, Alex. Alex, you're looking damn good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I really like that shirt. That shirt is fire. Beautiful.
Merch coming soon.
Absolutely. Everybody looking on point today. Speaking of being on point today, I'm curious how the format of this is going to work, right? We have a mixture of number 1 and number 2 being revealed at the same time, right? HCS has been very thoughtful at the way that they're releasing all of these videos and all of the players. It's been a 2-week experience, and today is the culmination of that. It is the climax, baby. We're getting number 1 and number 2. So I got to start with you, Nighty. Who do you think lands at number 1?
Well, yesterday I said it, and I will say it today. Ogre 2 has got to be that guy. We have seen him time and time again take over tournaments, individual tournaments. He was, the runner-up against Zyos in Halo 1. He was able to stay in the free-for-all finals in Halo 2. He is not only individually amazing, but in a team, he is irreplaceable. He's got 5 world championships. That is more than any other player. He is a god when it comes to Halo, and he hasn't been surpassed yet. Lethul is right there on his heels, Snakebite following, Royal 2 following, and Frosty obviously coming up. But the Sentinels roster just has not been able to do it quite yet. Now, there were some good points by Gary yesterday. He said, had there been Halo Infinite a little earlier and we had some world championships for the past 2 or 3 years, then yeah. If those rings went to Lethul, then absolutely put Lethul over Ogre 2. But when you've got 5 rings compared to 2, it's just not even. That's where I put most of my weight is on the rings. I mean, when you look at this entire top 25 list, the rings make such a big difference.
Absolutely. Why not be reckless? Why not be casting? Let's hear your predictions, sir.
I'm not gonna lie, Nighty. I before we got into the broadcast, I wanted to go with you, but Garrett's not here, so I'm speaking for Garrett right now. So Garrett, come in. I need your spirit inside of me. Kind of weird. I'm going to speak for my man Garrett. Lethul has 58 tournament wins. 58 tournament wins. There's not a single other professional player that has that many tournament wins. I'm talking about, this includes online, this includes, because we're in a different age, Nighty. This isn't back in your Halo 1 days where you had to be on LAN and whatnot. We're counting locals and stuff and whatnot, and Jim Bob from across the street is playing in a local, and he lost Ogre 1, Ogre 2. Well, no wonder they've been freaking playing together every day, while Jim Bob and Jim Bo have to play once a week. They're freaking plumbers, okay? So we're going to count online tournaments. 58 tournaments for Lethul. $2.6 million. They always told me money talks. Whenever I got in trouble at my job, my old managers come to me. He's like, you know what? That's above your pay grade. Don't worry about that. Ain't nothing above Lethul's pay grade. $2.6 million, and he's not. His career's not done yet. Are you kidding me? He's still making a run. Ogre 2, he's out in Call of Duty managing some guys that are disrespecting him. Ain't nobody disrespecting Lethul because he's still feared on the battlefield to this day. You don't want to go up against Lethul in a dark alley with a controller in his hand because he's gonna put you down. That's the number one.
I hate to break it to you,
and like you said, Ogre 2, it's in his name. It's in his name.
You just disrespected Ogre 2, the team manager of Mutineers. You just disrespected this man's career. He is continuing to make that money. He's making bank over there. He's making more money than Lethul's making on Halo for the past 3 years, and that's just a fact. Ogre 2 is still racking in that moolah right now. You underestimate that Activision Blizzard money. That stuff is no joke over there. That man is living lavishly. He's fine over there. Ogre 2 is at the top right now. He is living life, and you know he's the king. You can't deny it. 5 rings. He's the best that ever did.
Absolutely. 30 seconds left in this countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the premiere of the HCS video edited by Muggsy and Riley Hastings, and also Matt Klein, Tashi, Div, the whole team, I'm sure, put work into this. 15 seconds out, I'm going to give my last little prediction. I think that Ogre 2 is falling at number 2. It's his destiny. 10 seconds. I think Lethul deserves it, and the projection of Lethul after Halo Infinite, I think, seals him at number 1. It's time, baby. Let's go ahead and react to this video.
Lethul number 1 or number 2?
That has to be 2. If they're putting 2 first. There's no way they start with number 1. It makes
Let's
no sense.
go!
Number 2.
Wow, number 2, yes. Lethul. I was wrong.
Ogre 2! Ogre 2! Tuger! All right, let's celebrate this man, though.
All here picking up another kill, helping out Blaze, and that winds up the no-scope. Take it down. I got your pistol.
Kids are coming out of the woodworks, and they're so skilled. Even these like young kids that are coming out of nowhere, they're still not being able to beat Lethul.
Make this flag a little bit easier to run for Snakebite, but Snakebite will take it down. But it doesn't matter when you end up getting an overkill. Lethul.
Esports just being around for so long, it just gets harder and harder as the time goes on, and Lethul has somehow found a way to like literally be on top for the past like 10 years.
Got himself a weapon. The blade is death from above. Lethul, what's going on here? Turns 2. What a beast.
I just value competitions nowadays a little bit higher. He was winning before, and he's still continuing to do it and play at the highest level. It is a testament to how good he is.
Every generation sort of has their players. Like at first it was Ogre 2. Then it sort of became the Roy and Lunchbox show. It's turned into, I think, the Lethul show.
Lethul has a burning desire to succeed. He wants to be the best.
Love his mindset.
Very
too.
quickly,
He's got one of the strongest.
We are going to be saying that Lethul is the greatest Halo player of all time.
His accolades speak for themselves, but the longevity that he's been at the top and dominated across multiple games cannot be contested.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question he's going to be considered the GOAT at some point. Him and Snakebite have to.
2 to do. When that time runs out.
What a nasty no-scope.
Lethel's got an overshield.
I'm excited about the future. I want to watch this man, and I want to see him grow, and I want to see him get that number 1 spot. May not be yet, but it's like you said, it will be eventually.
And it really does make me upset that we didn't get to see more of him at a high level competition. I remember that team kill overkill was too funny.
Multiple Halo titles, including 10 event wins and 2 world championships in Halo 5. Lethul is the undisputed king of modern era Halo.
When it comes to Lethul, what comes to mind is probably perfect Halo.
He's insane mechanically.
You expect him to get his hands dirty every single game.
He was somebody that can change the outcome of a tournament.
Somehow, Lethul has got round the corner. Tox Gaming tie the game in the last second.
2016, Counterlogic Gaming versus the heart of Europe. They had 3 dead, and they were running flag, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Look at this. You've got Buck controlling the spawn over here, but they spawned over on the pink side of the map. They did not block the pink spawn right there. I would have loved to see the run. I would have loved Lethul picking up the trouble and the overkill from Lethul.
And to this day, I don't know how. Not only because of the fact that it was Lethul doing something unbelievable in-game, but also because it broke so many hearts of people who were rooting against him. And I think that's always been something that TJ has thrived off as well.
What's your record against him all time? I gotta ask you.
I remember playing him a couple times. I think I'm 2-0. So he didn't stick around much after that. I beat him down pretty bad, and then he just kind of got out of here.
A familiar face in the grand finals, Lethul has finished top 3 or better in every major Halo event since 2014.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
If you have to look at accomplishments, being a 2-time world champion has to be it.
World champions of 2016.
What dominant victory. That's the best word to describe it. A dominant performance here.
In 2016, they walked away with $1 million. Then, fast forward a year later, 2017, another big world championship, they won again, 4-0. It's one thing to like scrape by and win a tournament. It's another thing to just be dominant the entire time.
Back to back, Kyle. They have done it.
That has to be one of the greatest accomplishments. We've had 3 world championships. They won 2 of them. Come on. There is no world that he does not overperform in Infinite as well.
Tox have done it. They're back on top.
And you could make the argument now at this point in time that he is one of the most winning and greatest Halo players of all time.
Lethul, I want to see him play again. I want to see him. At least I've been focused on Halo 5. I never got a chance to watch him much in Halo 3.
Win the audience
the hell out of some Halo 3.
Players will look at Lethul like, yeah, he might be one of the best to ever do it.
They are the greatest Halo 5 players of all time.
I give Lethul the greatest player of all time. Like accolades, obviously, I think he has it, and longevity, I think he has it.
Lethul's legacy will be, in my opinion, the greatest Halo player of all time.
And even though you may not want to admit it, TJ Campbell is the future of Halo, and the man is too damn good to pass up as one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Mark my words. I'll fight people.
Oh my.
Yes. He's not wrong. Next year, get another ring in there. You know, I mean, I definitely would put him up there because, I mean, this is going to be some of the hardest competition in the next year or so. Battling everybody like this with mouse and keyboard and you name it. It's going to just have an incredible pool of players that are hungry and ready to take him off of his throne.
No matter what, Halo Infinite is going to be huge. It's going to be big time.
Right.
It's people can't even fathom how big Halo Infinite's going to be. And if him and his team Centros can be successful during that run, you have to give it to him as the number one spot. I'm sorry, it's going to be too big. But let's see a Halo. Oh my gosh! I want to see. Is this the Halo 1? Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought I was about to see the Halo. The number 1. Excuse me.
Yeah, we're just at the mercy of HCS at this point, right? We got the number 2 video, Lethul, very deserving of that. I was wrong. I thought he would land at number 1. A lot of the people in the video thought he would land at number 1, but I digress, right? He is not. He is number 2. So congratulations to Lethul. That is nothing to be shamed about, right? That is something to be proud of, right? And the fact that he still has more career to go just means that this man is going to put on a show for us, and I cannot wait in Halo Infinite. We don't know officially who's number 1, right? At this point in time, so
could be Ninja.
Could be Ninja, right?
It should be.
Nighty, you think if there's any chance anybody else that hasn't been on the list
Jesus.
gets number 1, Give me a few names here. I know this is probably pointless.
If Ogre 2 got wiped from history, if the man didn't exist anymore, if, some crazy element happened, you go back in time, and there's only Ogre 1, then I would say of all the players left, who could be at the top? Now, are we going to shift the list? Is the list going to move up? Because if that's the case,
outside of the list.
Outside of the list. Good Lord. Well, see, I know this is a really weird one, but I do weight Halo as like at the pinnacle was around 2009, 2010, and in that period, one of the best players in the world was Cloudy Cloud, and he was winning the World Championship at the time. He upset the two greatest teams, Straight Rippin' and Triggers Down in Halo 3. He beat Pistola. He beat all the greats. He beat Roy Lunchbox. He dominated that event. That was really his event, and he was amazing. And then he goes and gets on Instinct, becomes one of the first God Squads. He was also the runner-up in the Halo 2 Free-For-All World Championship, the very last one. He was in the finals against Soviet, beat Soviet off-host, which is almost unheard of. You cannot beat people off-host in that game. It's near impossible. But he did it. And Soviet had one more chance off host to beat Cloud, and it was a nail biter. Like they came down to the wire, and Soviet barely beat him. So having that kind of track record, being so dominant individually, and staying that way up until Halo 5. Like Cloudy Cloud was pretty darn good in Halo 5 in the beginning, and during his online trying to find a team, he won an online event. I mean, if there's anyone outside of the top 25 that could possibly be like an upset, we're just talking hypothetically here. I think he's the only one you could really put up there. You couldn't put Nated. Nated never got a win, much less a ring. You couldn't put Ghost Yami because Ghost Yami didn't do anything really in Reach or H2A or Halo 5. Same thing with Shockwave. Shockwave got out of there pretty early on, and the longevity just isn't there. They only have one world championship apiece. And the longevity, getting wins in multiple titles is really big. Cloudy Cloud has wins in multiple titles. He's got the 2 wins in H2A against Evil Geniuses, beating Lethul, beating Ogre 2, Snakebite, Royal 2, like beating the best of the best. Cloudy Cloud was still dominant over them. So if there's anyone, I think anyone. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, what about Neighbor? And it's like, well, Neighbor, he's got wins, but he doesn't have a ring. Like, you got to have a ring to be on this list, really, in my opinion. Like, I know there's some players that don't, like APG, for instance, but it's like they were so consistent for so long and at the top for so long and winning events for so long that's why they're there. So I think there's only one player in all of Halo history, in my opinion.
I think if we're gonna have a world without Ogre 2, I'm gonna change time as well. I'm gonna say if there's a universe where Ogre 2 doesn't exist, that same universe, I feel like Formal doesn't leave Halo and doesn't go to Call of Duty. And I feel like if Formal didn't go to Call of Duty, he was so good, so young, and obviously as his career progressed in Call of Duty, he was able to switch games and continue to get better. Who's to say he wouldn't have gotten better at Halo? And I think maybe he would have been either number 2 or number 1. If Formal in that parallel universe where Ogre 2 doesn't exist is the same parallel universe that Formal doesn't go to Call of Duty, and if that's the case, he's either number 1 or number 2. I'm sorry if I broke the rules. I'm sorry, Alex. I might have broke the rules with that one, but hey, if we're talking about a crazy universe where Ogre 2 is not existent, in my crazy universe, Formal's still in Halo. I was a huge Formal fan. I love Ninja. Don't get me wrong. I used to watch Ninja stream all the time. But I would always, if Formal and Ninja were streaming at the same time, I would gravitate towards Formal because I would learn more from Formal. His shot was absolutely incredible. He played the game correct. Fundamentally was so sound, and he was just so good. And I truly believe that he could have been a top 2 player if he stayed.
I totally agree. I think Formal is one of the most skilled. Like, we talk about the big impact players throughout history. Ogres, Pistola, Snipe Down, Shotzzy, Frosty, and then Formal is on that list. He's one of the biggest impact players He had so many amazing events where he just did incredible things from really early on. His first major, he got top 32. His second, he got 5th. And then his third, I believe he got in the top, I think he got top 3. And then he got on Dynasty and was able to get first. So it only took him 4 events to get a win. And then he stayed at the top, really. Like in Halo 4, he was just killing it. H2A, he comes in teams with Lethul, Legit, and Maniac, wins the first H2A big invitational with major competitors, and it was just amazing to watch him play. I'm so sad that he went to COD. I'm happy for him, though, because he's shown amazing success, and just truly what you just said, if we changed the outcome of history, he would have been one of the most winningest players. Who knows what would have happened to Shotzi, Renegade, Frosty. The whole thing would have been shaken up if Formal was in there, because Formal absolutely would have been the scariest. He's just, I mean, it's like Royal 2 and then Formal. Like, those are the 2 snipers that are just, you can't contest them across the map. If you try, you're going to get your head taken off every time. But yeah. I agree with that one, Tony.
I want to bring the conversation back to Lethul, and I'm sorry, I brought Formal and just I love Formal, but I want to celebrate Lethul's success, because no matter, there's certain players that, as Ogre 2 said, there's players that are glue players, and obviously where Lethul goes, winning goes as well. So it's not a coincidence. And a lot of those glue players don't get the accolades, or don't get the praise that they deserve. But Lethul does, because not only is he willing to do that dirty work, but he has the raw skill to back it up. He'll he's like like Pistola, like I'll even put other names out there as well, like that Walshy player. Those players that are willing to do the dirty work, anything it takes to win. But you also don't want to challenge them in a dark alley. Let me tell you, you don't want to see them in a dark alley with a controller. You're gonna get put down. You're gonna get put down.
Ogre 2 saying, "I can't." He said he was talking to Lethul at some point, and Lethul said, "I don't get it, man. I can out BR you all day, but I just can't win against you." And that really is a good testament to Lethul right there. Like he's so fun. He's just a fun dude, and he's just very lighthearted and can really bring the mood back up if his team's losing. And I think that's such a valuable asset to have on a world championship team, to be able to have that like quarterback mentality where it's like, shut up, guys. Like, that was stupid. Let's move on. And just keep the ball rolling, keep the competition as high as possible, get the team back into it. It's not like he's screaming, let's go. He's got his own thing where he's just chill, he's mellow, he's always in the pocket. And a lot of times we saw in the interviews is like they were talking about how well he played Halo at that level. Like, he is one of the most consistent players there is, period. You cannot find a more consistent player. And I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about his impact to the game. What kind of plays is he making to win the game? There really is no other. Lethul really is that guy. Like, when you talk about glue players, that's what glue players are. They're the guys that are staying consistent, and they're making those really clutch plays consistently. And he is exactly the epitome of that. When you watch Halo, you want to make sure that you're looking for those types of plays, that those really are the ones that stick out. You don't want to focus on, how many shots did he hit, or, what's he doing with those rockets. It's all about the movement. It's all about how he plays around the objective. What's he doing when he's communicating to his teammates a certain way? How is he being the leader on the team when he needs to be, when he has positioning and he has eyes? How is all of that coming together to equal a win? And Lethul is the one that really takes the cake. I mean, I'd say Snakebite overall, being the leader he is, the preparation he puts in, he's the greatest. But then Lethul's right there next to him, putting in some of the most work and just being such a huge asset to that team. The most dominant roster in all of Halo. They are incredible across all the titles. Give them some OG Xbox controllers and a month of practice on Halo 1, and they'll be just as good at that game. They are some of the greatest Halo players we've ever seen, and Lethul is going to be the GOAT pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely huge for. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I hope they put the number one video soon, but I was gonna ask Nadia a quick question. So you kind of glanced over. I want to bring the conversation back to it just a little bit because I feel like it's underrated, and I'm sure you're gonna agree with me on that. Like I remember watching a stream where I want to say they were scrimming, and they were going at each other. Like, you know, it was Snakebite Royal 2. I think it was Snakebite specifically saying, you know, I don't know what we're doing. This is not what we practiced and whatnot. And just talking specifically about how they were playing and why they weren't playing as well. I think they won the game, but they were still kind of yelling at each other. And then everybody gets quiet. And then Lethul just goes in and just cracks a joke. The corny little dad joke. And everybody's mood changes instantly. And right before the game starts, they lock it in. But how valuable is a player like that who's almost so intelligent to read the room and be able to recognize, okay, well, we like they're able to recognize that the vibes are off, but able to turn that switch and put the vibes right back on. How valuable is that?
Yeah, and it's funny too because like he was always talking smack too from an early age. Like online, he would always be a real big smack talker. So he's got that mental, right? He's got that real strong will about him, about winning and about competition. I got to play against him in his first LAN ever. His first competition. I played in the consolation for top 12. We were competing for 9th place, and it was him, Adrenaline, Elitist, and I forgot their 4th. I think it was like X Beast or something. But they were a solid team. They went into that event being considered one of the best teams, but I think they got upset pretty bad by Ryan Noob's squad, which is kind of funny to think about that they ended up teaming and becoming the team to beat the God Squad. But Lethul, he was really solid at that event, and I'm so glad that I got to experience that. And I talked smack back to him, he talked smack to me, and he's going to be the future GOAT. That's something that I will never forget because I later got to learn who he was. He wasn't just this cocky young player. He was actually an amazing person. Like when I got to sit down and hang out with him in the hotel rooms at Gamers Outreach and just be chilling with him, he's such a cool dude, and he has a heart of gold, which he'll never tell anybody. But it's this best kept secret that Lethul's just one of the biggest teddy bears there is. It doesn't come off in his stream. His stream gets a little toxic sometimes because of his great sarcasm, his great humor. He just rolls with the punches. Whenever the Twitch chat gets a little too crazy, he's just like, man, wait, shut up. You know, he's just that guy that you love to hang out with and chill with. And it's a wonderful thing to have him be like that, because that strong mentality from a competitor is something that a lot of people need to mask. They need to copy. They need to copy it, and they need to do the exact same thing he does. Really just let things roll off your back. Don't ever take things super serious, because at the end of the day, this is a video game. We're here to have fun. And obviously, if you're going to be like that, you're going to turn into a king just like Lethul, because I think that's a real big secret in competitive gaming, is like this pressure that you put on yourself shouldn't be there. We're here to have fun. Remember the fun. Every pro that I talk to, they're always like, every event that I've had the most fun at, I've absolutely dominated. Whenever Ola was going off, he was having fun. He was smiling up there. Whenever Miquin was hitting those crazy snipes in H2A, you could see he was just giggling and having a blast. And it's the same with Lethul. He is up there having a good time with some of his best friends and just relaxing. The mental is too darn good with that guy. Too darn good.
Absolutely, guys. Want to update the stream real quick. We are going to get the number 1 reveal in 36 minutes. You guys can see the countdown on the bottom. That is counting down to 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. That's when we're going to get the reveal of number 1. I'm going to let you guys keep discussing this, right? I just want to point out, though, there was only 3 points that separated number 1 and number 2, according to the judges. It was 219 to 216. We now know that Lethul fell, or actually Lethul got the 216 points, right? But all that tells me is that mathematically, it is assumed that this was a split decision as far as who gets number one. So that's great news for Lethul, right? Like, he was in that conversation very much so, that maybe only one or two judges made a difference, and so that's very impressive. What do you think about that, Nighty? 3 points separating number one and number two.
It's kind of shocking to me, even originally when we looked at it. It was like, okay, I don't think the judges looking at the panel would ever vote the majority of Pistolo or Lethul over Ogre 2. I don't see it. I think all of them really understand that Ogre 2 should be at the top. And having it be so close, that means Lethul, I mean, it was right there that there was 5 votes for Ogre 2 in first. I mean, I don't know the exact math, but it had to be extreme. It had to be like Lethul at second for like 2 or 3 people, and then it was just right over for Ogre 2. Like, it was just narrowly there. I'm sure Lethul got maybe 1/3 place. Maybe somebody put him in third, but it's like, I think he was third on my list, actually. I put Lethul at 3. I put Pistola, Ogre 2, Lethul. That was my top 3. And yeah, I think it's crazy that it's that close, honestly, because I thought it was going to be Ogre 2 by a landslide. But this really made it interesting. A lot of people, we just didn't know. I mean, obviously, Gary yesterday, he was so hyped about it being Lethul, and I honestly thought it was going to be Lethul. I was like, this is actually kind of surprising to me that it was Ogre 2, because of so far what we've seen with Shotzi, Frosty, and how high Snakebite was, and Pistola being 4th and Snipe Down being 6th. Well, Snipe Down being 6th is kind of, I kind of agree with that one, but it's just, it has been so much weight towards Halo 5 success that that I think Lethul being first would have made sense. But the thing is that it's just, you can't get past the 5 rings, man. 5 rings, 5 world championships. We're not talking about LAN wins. We're talking about the big one. We're not talking about money. Like, yes, Lethul has won the most money, but when it comes down to it, when you talk about the greats of any sport, you don't talk about how much money they made off of their contract or off their prizes. It just doesn't happen. When you talk about Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson will tell you, I mean, he never even talks about the money. I don't even think I've heard anyone, when you talk about the greatest of greats, like Tiger Woods, you don't say, well, this is how much Tiger Woods has won in his career. I've never heard that discussion. So it's like, that's what Lethul has over Ogre 2, yeah, but other than that, 5 rings compared to 2 rings. I mean, if you want to give him the season finals of H2A, I think he won 2 of those. So that's like, there's 4 rings. I don't know. And yes, there's the argument that we could have had more. If Halo Infinite had been out earlier, we could have had more worlds, and Lethul would have had those wins. In which case, I probably would have given it to Lethul. But yeah, man, with this narrow victory, this is exciting, man. It's built some drama. I really wish that this reveal wouldn't have been, an hour apart. I feel like there could have been a little bit more build up and a little bit more tension. But these videos, regardless, have been perfect. This is the best type of content we could have.
I feel like, we made a sports metaphor yesterday, and I almost kind of want to make another one today. Okay. When I think of Ogre 2, I think of a Jordan. I think of that Michael Jordan of Halo.
6 rings, baby.
And when I think of Lethul, I think of maybe like a LeBron. You can argue back and forward and probably make really good cases for both, but no matter what, people have them as their 1 and 2. And I think that's where we're at right now, especially when it comes to this list. Lethul's that LeBron. He's still going. He may be able to eclipse and make number 1. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Ogre 2's legacy will live on forever, and he'll always be chasing the ghost, as LeBron said, chasing the ghost of number 23. Maybe Lethul will always be doing that. But no matter what, you got to respect both of them, and you got to love both of them and what they have done for the game. And I think that's where we're at right now. I'm going to bring it back to sports, and I'm going to say the Ogre 2 is the Jordan and Lethul is LeBron.
I definitely like that. I like that a lot. Do you think that there's room in Halo Infinite for Lethul to progress past Ogre 2 theoretically at number 1? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, give him another ring in Halo Infinite, and
no question.
And there's no question. Yeah. There really can't be. And Is Snakebite going to be able to get past Ogre 2 after that win? Probably not. I think I'd want another ring for Snakebite, or maybe just more time of dominance, because Lethul had that period on Evil Geniuses with Snipe Down Roy Lunchbox where, he could only be beaten by Snakebite, Royal 2. Like, he could only be beaten by so many people in that period in H2A. So Lethul has been dominant a little longer than Snakebite. So once Snakebite gets another year or two in him, yeah, they're both going to surpass Ogre 2 in my mind.
Well, I mean, hold on a second. I mean, we never thought Walshy would leave the Ogres. We never thought, we never thought Roy would leave Lunchbox. We never these things happen. I'm just saying, right now, Snakebite and Lethul are together on Sentinels, and I'm sure that amazing things can happen. But there's maybe not this one, but there is a reality somewhere out there where maybe Sentinels don't do that hot, or maybe another team comes out of nowhere. And maybe, just maybe, they go separate ways again. I know it's not probable, but it is possible. And maybe Lethul and Snakebite go different ways, and maybe Snakebite finds more success. Maybe Lethul finds more success. There's a chance that we could have a clear number one. But as of right now, they're both on Sentinels, and I think if they continue this dynasty, we're talking. And again, we're not talking about just a dominant team, like, oh yeah, they had their time. Like, no, this has been Sentinels. It's not been Sentinels' time. This has been Sentinels' era. This is all Sentinels. And if they continue that, there's no doubt in my mind that one or both of them can eclipse Ogre 2. They're chasing the ghost that is Ogre 2, and it might just pass them.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that a dynasty has been built, right? And that is Sentinels, the current roster, Frosty, Snakebite, Lethul, and Royal 2. Obviously, the top 10 here kind of solidifies them, and it puts a target on their back in Halo Infinite, I believe. We've seen them waver in the past, right, in Halo 5. At the late stages of Halo 5, I should say, the online portion, right? They've had some trouble with teams like Cloud9. There was a case where Flyers with a kind of pieced together roster put them out of their own tournament, right? And so they're not perfect, I should say, but it was online, right? So it should be taken with a grain of salt. What do you guys think?
Well, there's a lot of, when you talk about the top 25 lists and you talk about all these greatest of greats and you talk about, where they fit in a ranking, a lot of it is subjective because there's a lot of fans, there's a lot of bias, but on the other side, you can use a lot of elements like the rings and like longevity, years, and all of that to really support your claim. And when it comes to that, there was just so many little things about Lethul that, he didn't want to play on the old hardware. He wanted to play on PC. We're moving along in technology. He just fell in love with Halo and how it feels on MCC, and Halo 5 on PC feels glorious. I mean, it's probably the best I've ever felt Halo 5, and you can attest to that because you have the new Xbox and you've got a great PC, and yet something about Halo 5 PC just feels so much better. The registration from the servers, just the way you can move, and you don't have, I don't think there's much heavy aim at all. I don't think I've ever felt heavy aim consistently, even when I'm on different servers. It doesn't just, I can zoom in quicker, I can shoot my gun faster. It feels like almost like LAN. Not quite. LAN was absolutely beautiful when I got to play it, but yeah, he just wanted to get away from the Xbox, and he didn't put in much time or much practice. All the other teams had been grinding their butts off. Currently, they're still doing it. If you look at Penguin has been just on it. Like, that man wants to become the next world champion so badly. He really, overall, if you look at him, he is just really guns blazing. I mean, I got to play him about 20 games in a row. I don't know why 343 decided to do this to me, but every single game was against him. I never got to get him on my team, and he just dominated me. So for Penguin to be so damn good during that event, it was just all about preparation and time put in. I don't think that really attests to longevity or greatness across the career of anybody.
When I think of Sentinels, I'll even take it back. When I think of like Evil Geniuses, for example, back when, when I think of that roster, I think of a squad that was always well practiced, big on the setups and whatnot. And when I thought of like a team like Splice, I thought of a team with such high ceiling, high capacity, in your face. They can up the tempo on you, make you uncomfortable, and they almost seem like the polar opposites of each other. In the middle was Sentinels, the team that was so well prepared, that can set up on you and make you pay, or they can up the tempo and get in your face. And they had that raw skill as well. They're almost a perfect team when skill meets preparation. You have excellence, and that's where Sentinels is. And in the second wave of Halo 5, nobody was scrimming, nobody was practicing, nobody was doing what it takes to take that next step. So I don't want to diminish what KCP have done, what Flyers have done. Commonly just retired. Big ups to you. You're my boy. I'll reach out to you later.
Number 25 was on that team. Ryan Noob was on that second place team.
I don't want to diminish what they've done in the second wave of Halo 5.
Yeah.
But I feel like if nobody's practicing and nobody's really putting in that work, I can't put that much weight into it. So if you want to do it, KCP, your stock is high right now. Keep it going. Keep putting in that work. But if you want to prove that you belong with the big boys and that you should be considered one of those God squads, you got to do it in Infinite. What happens in Halo 5 right now, it counts, and I don't want to diminish it, but it doesn't put you on that level. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a lot to be said about the Sentinels roster, and it's only time that will prove, what's going to stick for them. Are they the greatest roster of all time? Could be. Let's see how they perform in Halo Infinite. I think that's going to be the deciding factor for them, and the deciding factor for people like Lethul, Snakebite, the guys that are on this list and considered very high, even Frosty, Royal 2, all of them, right? If they do well, right, and then one of them shines a little more than the others, I could see things getting switched up. Who knows, right? Because we as a community and the devs, everybody, we're all putting a lot of marbles into Halo Infinite, and so I feel like, the future of Halo is going to be really where it counts for me. And so I'd love to see them climb this list, and I'd love to see a little bit of a shakeup, right? I would love to see Snakebite get everything that he deserves and becoming the greatest of all time. Who knows? It could always happen. I've moved the channel over to Halo Infinite, by the way, on Twitch. And I've done that for a reason. We're going to show you some Halo Infinite footage. But before we do that, I do want to discuss something that we have going on this weekend. If all goes right with the technical flight, we're going to have a $1,000 Money Tuesday. It's going to be September 26th, the Sunday, the last assumed play date, right, for PvP matchmaking. It's going to be from 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It's going to last 4 hours, right? So we got a couple of great people included in this, right? So I want to bring it back to the Sentinel roster, guys. How do you guys think? What do you think? Do you what am I trying to say here? Do you guys appreciate the performance that Snakebite and Royal 2 put on in the first Infinite kill race that we had in the last technical flight? Nighty?
Oh man, I couldn't have been more happy with the drama that unfolded on that day, because we had so much involved in getting ready for that event. We didn't really know how we were going to do it, but it just unfolded really well. We had some technical issues, but we moved through them real smoothly. And then all of a sudden, a wrench was put in. PvP unleashed as soon as we were getting down to the wire. And then they started to play against players. And then it came down to that final game where Snakebite and Royal 2 were playing against legitimate professional Halo players, which that wasn't the case. They'd been playing against bots, and they'd been playing against, not really the best of players. So the final game was was against the best players they played all day. So it was this great climax, and Renegade and Saiyan had been doing well, and they were right on their heels. So it really came down to both teams playing well at the end, and it was just so exciting that they dominated in the way that they did. Like, they didn't have any games like that before. Like, if you looked at their stats, they went off. They popped off in that final game. And Snakebite and Royal 2, it's just a testament to their greatness and a testament to their level of competition, how it can just rise when they know it needs to.
Yep, Tony, I saved you for last for a reason. I'm going to say that Snakebite and Royal 2 have agreed to come back this weekend to defend their title. They're going for that $1,000 again. So, Tony, I want to know what's on your mind, man.
Wow. Okay, this is news to me. I didn't know. I made a big mistake during that Money Tuesday. I did. I made a big mistake, and I let my heart guide who I thought was going to win, and I said that Renegade and the artist formerly known as Saiyan, now Lucid, were going to win. I felt like their playstyle was more for a kill race, and what I didn't take into account was Snakebite and Royal 2 with a new game and a new fire lit under them. They blew it away. They blew it out of the water. And it was to the point, because Snakebite was watching me. He tweeted, he added me on Twitter. This man added me on Twitter and said, sorry to disappoint you, period. And just left it at that. And so I replied, so I'm a man. I'm a man. I'll take it on the, I took it on the chin. And I said, and I promised Snakebite, and I said, I will never doubt the 2-time again. And so there's no way I'm going against Snakebite in World 2, because if I am wrong again, he's going to cancel me. He's going to straight up cancel me. So I'm going Snakebite in World 2 again. I don't even know who their opponents are. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Don't care. Snakebite in World 2. I don't care who it is. Put Ogre 1 and Ogre 2. Put Nighty and Brandon. Put Saiyan and Renegade on the same team. I don't care. I'm going Snakebite in World 2.
Why
I feel
would
that,
you just
man.
mention all those losers? Don't mention losers. You don't know who is talking in the messages.
Yeah, I'm sorry I mentioned you. I'm sorry. I did mention a loser. I'm sorry I mentioned you. I apologize. That's my fault. That's on me.
I am nowhere compared to these players that are interested in this event. This event has got some incredible talent that are trying to get in. And I can't mention yet. I don't want to spoil it. Let's.
Spoil it. Tell me.
I can't.
We can't.
I just can't.
Nobody can hear you. Just tell me right now. Nobody can hear you. You're muted.
All right, I'll send you a DM.
Listen, guys, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to play some Halo Infinite footage of the last kill race. This is going to be a 12-minute video. As you can see, the timer is at 18 minutes right now for the #1 reveal. So we're going to be back. We're going to regroup our thoughts. We might have a little bit of a cast change, but we're going to be right back. You guys enjoy this, all right?
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play.
Obviously, you have Royal 2, an absolute slaying machine like the player that we're seeing right now, putting that VR to work. Snakebite, a high IQ player, IGL extraordinaire. I would be crazy to bet against them, but I am. This is the new school. Boomers, get out of the way. This is about Renegade and the artist formerly known as Saiyan, now Lucid.
We've got Royal 2, this guy, one of the best shots in the game. He's insane. He's got a VR. He's showing you right there. Literally the first VR kill we see is a perfect. That's going to say something. This OS pocketed, there's a whole new strategy here, and it's real cool. He pops it, goes up to the top. This is going to be good because it's going to allow him to get a double kill right off that OS play.
That is a beautiful double kill, and he's not done yet. He has a third player in front of him. That's actually is going to be the triple kill. It changed, and they're still not done. Goes in. The overkill, almost getting the kill tag, and Snakebite really starting to heat up. He is leading the lobby with 13 kills. I believe everybody else currently has 9. Look at the scoreboard, Tim. Look at how much these guys are slaying out. It's 46-3. These bots don't stand a chance. Only 3 more kills. Every kill counting at the moment. And World 2 of Snakebite are cleaning house. I think that. Well, I think that's gonna be it. This is a dangerous combination. If he finds the spawns, he can easily get an overkill. That's one player. Notice how he didn't fire right away. He didn't want to give off the spawn trap.
You can get up to 5 charges, but look at that. We're in the game now. Lucid on your screen, and he's got one of my favorite weapons. Alex, you like this weapon, right? The skewer?
Dude, I've heard that it's going to take down vehicles. And
what?
Holy crap. This man is good with this gun. I haven't seen anybody that good with it yet.
Tapping for the last 2 shots, and you saw at range, he got a perfect from this tower to house, which is really difficult to do, but he was able to do it. Lucid, he's another beast, man.
He's your best friend, and ever since he told me that, I've been absolutely ripping with it, and we're seeing Saiyan doing the same. He's obviously feathering the shots because they're all hitting at the moment. 37-2 right now. Not many kills left. Every kill going to count.
Come on.
Their kills are now being stolen. They must have a little bit of better teammates right now. And once again, Niviet getting another double kill on the scoreboard. Every kill that their teammates are getting are kills that obviously they are not.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those things, a little bit of RNG involved now. If I'm Lucid right now, I got told in my ear or from my chat that PvP is out, and that's all I can think about if I'm him. So he's probably not as focused, but wait a minute, the double. He looks pretty focused. This BR is absolutely insane.
Gentlemen, this is no longer bots. We're talking PvP. You might have to change your sensitivity because now hitting your shots is going to count. We have, oh my gosh. Oh, the bank shots are coming in. That's going to be a triple. And there's the overkill.
Great shots there. I love the heat wave. Another great gun to use.
Snakebite and Rule 2 are winning throughout the bots, but now this is a different game. Now they're playing in the PvP.
Teammate to get camo there. He can get the rockets. The grapple should be coming up as well. There's the kill. Gets 1, gets 2. That's a bomber medal.
That he is, and we were talking about how amazing Renegade is as a player. He's absolutely incredible. Right with him is my man Saiyan right here. BR in his primary. It looks like he's not done with the heat wave. He's going to whip that out and immediately use it. Gets himself a kill. 5-1 in favor of our heroes, but it's not just about the scoreboard. It's about how many kills these two legends can put on the board. This is a kill race, baby.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Look
Hold
who's
the
in the
phone.
kill feed. Did you see who's in the kill feed? You saw it, 90. You saw who's in the kill feed. Kratos is in the game right now. Kratos is in the game.
He got a double kill. He got a triple kill.
He got a triple on Renegade and on Saiyan. Kratos is in the lobby. The factor, as you do see the scoreboard did increase. Snakebite and Raw 2 did finish out a game and are able to put in 149 points, and they're still a game behind, maybe even 2. Snakebite and Raw 2 are absolutely slaying out.
Than the pistol. I don't see the pistol coming out at all. He knows 2 players are in front of him, gets the double kill there.
really anchor the spawns and anchor his teammates' positioning with his long-range shots. So I'll be honest, I don't know if kill races are really his thing and whatnot, but right. I mean, hey, he puts down slays against players all the time. So who am I to judge? I'm sure he's just gonna heat up a little bit. Certain games he's gonna drop 20. Certain games he might end up getting a solid 14 or 15. But we're seeing some really good shots coming out of Snakebite, who you said he's put in an insane amount of time into this game. And look at those great commando shots. Not able to get the kill, but the bank is coming in. The bank is open. Commando in the hands of Snakebite, but the nades are going to go down, and they're going up against Lethul. Lethul ends up getting a triple kill with the hammer. They are actually going. Now, obviously, Snakebite and Roar 2 are currently signed under Sentinels, and they're going up against Lethul, who's one of their teammates and who's putting in that work.
There's no way that he did this on. There's no way he did this on purpose. He would not. He would not do this on purpose. Would he? Would he do it? This is what we wanted to see here. Lethul with an overkill to start, but there's a triple kill. How about this 20-second camo time? The camo goes on for 20 seconds, but it's pocketable. What do you really think about that?
I'll be honest with you, at least playing against the bots, I tended not to even pocket it at any given moment. I would pick it up and use it right away. I would have obeyed the switch that we saw. Only one more kill needed for Snakebite and Roar 2's team to take this win here, and there it is. Snakebite is going to get the kill, able to put down 17, but man, does he wish that he had Lethul's 21 kills.
I believe this is Nest. That's Tower that you see. I'm learning all the call-outs. It's going to take a little while, but regardless, the double kill comes through. Snakebite utilizing this AR. And these 2 kills could make a difference. They could have, like you said, the God Squad coming through next game, and then they're in trouble. So the assist comes through. I cannot see who cleaned up that one, but another assist. But again, Lucid, he seems so comfortable with this game. They're in the game already.
Carmea?
Oh, wow.
They got Carmea on the team.
Wait a minute, dude.
No.
Are you kidding?
No. No! No!
Oh, man. That changes things.
Stacked squad. That is call mentality. Top 3 player at World Championship. Gunshot. One of the best Halo 2 players ever. We are talking about a God squad.
Wow. This is going to be a tough one, honestly.
Taking him down, and currently the villains are up by 1 kill at the moment, making this as hard as possible. And luckily, Roar 2 has a trusty AR, jumps back with the nade, gets himself a beautiful double kill with the sidekick. Roar 2 absolutely going ham on that one.
Roar 2's got Iceman. When it matters, look at him just like stone-faced. He's just getting the kills he needs to get. He's already topped the leaderboard right now.
The opposing team is trying hard because we saw 2 threat detectors going in. Snakebite is going to get the assault rifle kill, taking down Calm Mentality. Beautiful kill on him, whipping out the sidekick. Cross map shots are going to absolutely land.
Snakebite unfortunately going to miss that, but he gets the splash damage for the double kill there. We got a glimpse of the scoreboard, but my boomer eyes could not see anything in that second of time. But Snakebite once again holding this top rocket control, always going up here, getting control of this, gets another kill, gets the killing spree, looking to use this last rocket with a double, and he gets that as well. Looks like they're leading now by 3.
Staying alive. Only 15 more kills left in the game as far as if they win, and that's another slay one for Roar 2, going in for the double, ends up getting it, dropping the people's elbow.
bust back.
Anticipation, the twilight fuels the intoxication. No hesitation, I'm giving into this sweet sensation. I've been good, I've been bad, but this moment is all we really have. So when the night is calling, I pick up the phone. A voice is singing sweetly, you don't have to be alone.
When you hit the main stage, you were the man in the arena. You didn't take criticism from people in the fucking cheap seats.
It doesn't matter the game, age 5, age 3, the dude is unreal.
Annihilated absolutely everyone.
I don't think I've seen him play a bad game with Halo.
9 times out of 10, the decision he makes is the right one.
He knows what he's going to do 5, 6 steps ahead.
He's insane mechanic.
He very well might be a robot.
The greatest Halo player of all time.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. This is the LVT channels. You can see us on Twitch, you can see us on YouTube, you can see us on Twitter right now, and even Facebook if you so feel inclined to. I am Brandon Pettis, aka Louis V Titan, and this is the reveal show and the reaction show of the number 1, the greatest Halo player of all time according to the top 25 list by the HCS team. I am joined with Mr. Nighty Night, and why not be casting? Guys, how are we feeling? Tony, let's start with you.
I'm feeling good. I know I made an argument for Garrett earlier because I know he wanted Lethul to be number 1, but in my heart, I think it would have been really disrespectful to not have Ogre 2 as that number 1, which again, I guess we're not positive it's gonna happen. Maybe they don't have it in the top 25 at all.
No, it's Ninja. Yeah,
and Ninja comes in, baby, or Mackie out. I mean, he deserves it. But all jokes aside, Ogre 2 is gonna be number 1, and rightfully so. I think there's gonna be a lot of great reactions to this. I think it's well deserved. He is the Michael Jordan of Halo. But I will say, watch out, Ogre 2. There's a couple people they try to take your crown. They try to take your spot. You might have to come back in Halo and show us what you got.
All right, Nighty. I know that you've been preaching it since day 1. Let's hear your thoughts on who lands at number 1.
I mean, it's got to be Ninja, right? Like, Ninja has brought the most impact possible to Halo's community. Like, let's think about it. Let's go back a little bit. MLG was the center. It was the mecca. It was everything that you needed or wanted, and it was our only. It was the only thing that really contained our competitive nature was MLG, right? Like, as soon as MLG dropped us, as soon as we were gone, who did we have? We had the community. The community tried to come together at AGL, but where was it really? It was on Twitch. It was on Ninja's channel. We had all gone in there, and we had come together, and we'd become a Halo community online, and we followed Ninja's career all the way through, all the way till Halo 5, where he was placed in top 4, and he was still at the top. Ninja is going to be that guy. Nobody has impacted Halo like him.
Any chance you want to double back on that?
Nope, it's Ninja.
It's Ninja. All right. Well, we've got about a minute until the 1 o'clock hour, so we're gonna kill a little bit more time here, guys. I hear Ninja, I hear Ogre 2. and I think it's a split decision. I'm not going to split it. I'm sorry, yes, this whole list has been very exciting. So shout out to HCS once again. You know, Riley Hastings, Muggsy, we got Matt Klein, we got Div, and we got Tashi all coordinating on this project. It was amazing to see. Today is going to be the finale of it. But I have a feeling that top 25s are never going to die all of a sudden, and we have Halo to thank for that.
Oh God, if we could do a top 25 for like clutchest Halo moments of all time, that would be exceptional, because we're going back in history, right? We're going and we're telling a story. We're getting set up for Infinite. We want to see the greatest moments that have brought us to this point. So I think this top 25, it's this for a reason. They have set it up like this. They have created a roadmap of content for the next year or so. They're not just thinking on the scale of LANs or online tournaments or what they're going to do to interact with the orgs and, you know, all of that jazz. That's great, but you got to have the content to keep people engaged. And that's exactly what this is doing. Bring in some top 25 players, then bring in the top 25 moments, and you just can go from there. You can start to get it spicy after that. You can be like, what's the top 5 rivals? You know, what are the 2 head-to-heads that you love seeing? And it's going to be number 1 for me would be, you know, T-Squared versus Gandhi. You gotta love the crap talk you heard from those two back in the day. Snipe Down versus Lethul. You know, these lists are beautiful. These guys have been doing such a good job.
That they have, and I'm whether it's Ninja, Ogre 2, or Sudeth 1, no matter what, this number 1 spot is going to be well deserved by no matter which one it is. And I cannot wait to see this video. I've gotten goosebumps and chills throughout every video. It's just as a Halo fan, it really hits deep, and I think these videos are really doing Halo justice and sending us into Infinite on the right step. I hope we continue this momentum going into Infinite, because this has been excellent. I've been critical on HCS, but this has been great. Great job, HCS.
Ninja.
Sudeth 1. Not 2-1.
Practice noob squad. I was like, what is OPN? What is that? Found out pretty quickly that there was 2 brothers who were ridiculous at the game. Like untouchable. So good that they basically had a squad of semi-pros or aspiring pros that they would just demolish as practice. It's like hearing about a pitcher who could throw 105 miles per hour.
Look at those killers.
It's just like this legendary. Is it real is the first question. Turned out it was real.
These guys were myths. Like back in the day, before social media, before YouTube. They were myths. You didn't know anything about them. All you heard was the Ogre twins, and everybody started making up rumors about it. Let's go. Ogre.
Ogre 2 is the greatest console esports player to ever play any game, period. You're talking about the epitome of a true legend.
You look at the body of work.
I got chills right
Every
now.
scenario you would want, he's got it.
Alive here, but here comes Ogre 2 on a perfect flank behind both players.
Double kill.
And there's Ogre, the veteran, stepping up. The crowd going crazy.
I would stack his career achievements against pretty much anybody's.
The guy placed top 2 at 40 events in a row. An absolutely insane streak. And I think that is the best way to describe just how dominant Ogre 2 was.
There never felt like there was a year that Ogre 2 lost a step. The man continued playing deeper than almost everyone else in Halo history. This guy was just a monster.
I'm a god! Holy sh**!
Ogre 2 is the winningest player in Halo history.
That old man, sit down.
With 5 national championship victories across 4 Halo titles and multiple season MVP awards. Ogre 2 stands atop the pack as the greatest of all time.
You know, the story of Halo 1 ultimately was about how incredible the Ogre twins are.
You didn't have Xbox Live, but you heard all these whispers about these titans known as the Ogres. And you're just like, wait, what? How good are they? I haven't really seen footage. Like, I can't go on YouTube and watch them play.
Immediately made aware of the fact that they were on a different plane. So much so that there was speculation, wow, these guys have ESP. They can communicate without talking. They can read each other's minds.
They ran the circuit at all of our local events. They heard about an event in Texas, flew out, dominated the 2v2. Not only were they better than everyone in Pickerington, Ohio, they were better than everyone else in the United States.
They had mastered the game at a very early level. They were playing the game in 2006 as we were still trying to figure out what Halo 2 was.
Sword and sniper, and Gandhi goes down, trying to jump up.
You come up learning about these legends' final boss. That's an intimidating name to go against because you know that these guys are the final boss of every single tournament.
Final boss is your 2007 MLG Pro Circuit champion.
The period of time where Ogre 2 was a dominant force
Ice in
is
the
just
veins,
incredible.
baby.
To transition through all three of those games and to be just a world beater, we didn't see it a lot.
He was dominant in Halo 1. His Halo 2 career was even better, and he went on to continue winning in future Halos after.
Instinct takes hold. Go love this.
It's just unheard of. It's something you can't even wrap your mind around, right? You're talking about a decade of winning.
Time and time again, it was the familiarity with the maps, it was movement, it was vision.
The double as Pistola is going for a third kill in the sword, and it's going to Ogre 2. There's his triple.
Every single pro player on the planet thought this was the best player in the game.
And then he cleans up his own kill on SK, Extermination, returning his flag.
He didn't need the power-ups to shine, but if you ever gave him a power-up, he wouldn't miss a bullet.
You're going against Ogre 2 on the main stage, and you hear 4 down. It would pierce me. I'd be like, damn.
Once Tom starts yelling, you know he is at the top of his game, and there's almost nothing you can do.
Yeah, dude. He would get into the enemy team's head.
In lots of games. But that level, that gap, I haven't seen it again.
It is officially over. Final boss, your 2010 MLG National Champions. Ogre 2 doesn't even realize what he just did. Final boss.
Why is he wearing a Pistola jersey?
Because Pistola is his goat.
Ogre 1 was wearing a Pistola jersey in that video.
14-year career and 40 land victories set the bar for future pros. A true pioneer of gaming and a master of the fundamentals of Halo, Ogre 2 has left a lasting impact on esports forever.
The term legendary, you know, we throw it around a bunch. Godlike, we throw it around. Ogre 2 is that word.
How much he inspired people, how much he dominated. I think he was a trailblazer.
Ogre 2 will be remembered as the greatest Halo player that ever lived.
You just won 4 national championships. You're the winningest player in Halo 3 and the winningest player in Halo. You are the man here. You're the best.
Their legend had grown so much over the years. Some of the biggest creators and influencers out there today idolize
Nick Merckx.
It's
Nick Merckx.
Inspired to be on a team with him, or just to have interactions with him.
When I was growing up, it's sort of like, all right, like there's a boxer, a fatality. And, you know, I think to a generation, there was an Ogre 2.
There are kids who grew up idolizing him who play Valorant professionally. Kids who grew up idolizing him who play Call of Duty professionally.
Yep.
The impact, it's like throwing a pebble in the middle of a pond. That ring is still expanding and growing, still impacting
5
esports.
rings.
And that's timeless. That's not going to go away.
I think the Ogres were some of the first to pave the way.
Is that Gilbert
and prove
Arenas?
that route
Yo,
was
that's
something
Gilbert
that was
Arenas.
Not only very
He
real, but
sponsored
something
that
would
team.
become very special for a lot of people.
You know, if you're going to tell the story of professional
Back in
Halo,
2006.
he's got a big chunk of that story that he owns that everybody should know. He's on the Mount Rushmore. He's one of the 4 faces.
He's definitely
I
on
put
Mount
up.
Rushmore.
I think he's going to go down in history as the greatest console player of all time. If you look at
People
his
from other
tournaments
games
that he
say that.
attended and the success that he
People
was
that have
able
never
to
played
accomplish
Halo.
in that time period, there's no one who is ever going to have a career like his.
And you hear Ogre 2, he was yelling at Ace's older brother Elamite earlier, now he's yelling at Ace. Ogre 2 forcing players to back down.
There's been a lot of controversy about the list. A lot of people disagreeing, agreeing, you know, and even you know, some people doing it respectfully, some people being a little out there, but I don't think anybody will go out there on this one because either you agree with it or you respect it. But no matter what, you're not going to disrespect Ogre 2. It's not going to happen. So, this is a great way to end it. Dude, I'm so excited for Halo Infinite. Alex, Oh my gosh.
Me too, man. Me freaking too. That is such a good way to start this content that we're about to see from these guys. This team, this Muggsy, Hastings, Matt Klein, these three guys are really going to put together some beautiful stuff, and it's exactly what Halo's needed. This was legendary. This was so perfect to start off this big run of just content like this, man. We just got to see Sundance, Puckett, Bravo. You know, we got to see all these amazing people, Golden Boy, Onset, just down the list. You got to see all these guys talk about your favorite pros, favorite players throughout Halo's history. This is unreal. This is exactly what we needed. That was so much fun. I had chills for about 5 minutes straight. That was amazing.
Oh, that was honestly, that was amazing, and it was so amazing. Somehow it made me sneeze. It gave me the tickles. It gave me the goosebumps in my nose, and it made me sneeze somehow. But I'm looking at the reactions, and yeah, look at that GOAT from Andy, Bravo. Onset's in there, Snipe Down, even coming over from Apex and showing his respect. Eli the Sensei, that's my homie. I've been whipping him up in the poker table. Don't tell him. For the Florida Mutineers coming out there, and like it talks about the impact that he's made. That you said, that Sundance said, that Gandhi alluded to. It's across all of esports, whether you played Halo or not, whether you're in Call of Duty, Gears of War. Everybody knows who Ogre 2 is.
The GOAT, man. The GOAT. He's got 5 rings, like I said. You cannot talk about that enough. That his team, Walshy, Ogre 1, Strong Side, they fell to the wayside. Ogre 2 kept going. And this is the thing that nobody talks about, is that Ogre 2 fell to top 12. He was getting 12th place with Fear Itself and Victory X. He built his trio. He built a rock-solid trio that stuck it out through 2009, and they were placing very poorly. They were not winning. They knew that they had the ability. They knew that they had the drive and the passion in their hearts, but everybody was counting them out. They were nowhere near the top. And then in 2010, they pick up Tots, and Tots was kind of a laughingstock. He was a great player, but in 2009, he really hadn't done too much. He placed within the top 8, top 6, but he wasn't a top-level player. Once he enters that team, they go and they get 3rd. And then they drop Tots and pick up Pistola. They get 2nd. And then Ogre 2, the next event, he gets 1st once more. He gets back to the top. That is a long period of him falling from the top and having to work his way back with a totally new roster. But Ogre 2 did it. He stuck it out. He knew what he needed to do. He trusted the process, and he got 2 extra rings over his old teammates and his brother. That is exceptional. That is greatness, if I have ever heard of it. And he became the 2010 World Champion, 2011 World Champion. The back-to-back World Championship argument can't be... You can't put it on him. Like, oh, well, Lethul won back-to-backs. Well, so did Ogre 2. And he had 3 before that. He is a champion of champions.
I want to give you a shout out because you said it right before you alluded to it right before the video started, and Sundance said it. Probably one of the first things he said was that we didn't have YouTube. This is coming from an era before, if you just wanted to, know more about your favorite pro, you type their name and you'll see interviews, gameplay, so on and so forth. This was before that era, so it was a mystery. You didn't even know what Ogre 1 and 2 looked like until you showed up on LAN and he's sitting and they're demolishing you. And the level that we're at right now, where people are gaming full time, it wasn't popular back then. It wasn't as accepted, if you will, back then. Ogre 1 and Ogre 2 did it. They made a living off of this, off of Halo. Probably one of the first ones to do it. And you didn't even know who they were until you showed up on LAN. I missed that experience. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't go to many LANs when I was younger. I watched a lot of Halo 3, a lot of Halo 2 online, but I didn't go to many LANs. So I missed out on that experience, and I'll probably regret that for the rest of my life. But
yeah,
I can only imagine what it was like to just walk in and see them and like, hey, yo, you heard Ogre 1, you heard Ogre 2? Yeah, I heard about them. That's them. No way.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to see. In my lifetime, you know, I started very, very young. I was 12 when I got Halo 1. Immediately, I watched Halo Nationals on G4 TV in 2002, 2003. I saw Darkman become the god he was. He teamed with Zyos. They were the top team at the time. And then the Ogres dethroned them and became the national champions at MLG. So I've been from the beginning to the end. So I've got this big vision of it all. I've gone to countless events, countless lands, and Ogre 2 has been at the top that entire time. He's been the pinnacle of all players. You look at all the players that you need to watch and learn from, and he's the guy from day one. You never ever were like, okay, well, I don't want to watch Ogre 2 because there's much more clutch and much more smart people to watch. No, there wasn't. Even in H2A, when Snakebite, Royal 2, Lethul, Roybox, Snipedown, Mikwin, Cloudy Cloud, they're all competing for the top, I still wanted to watch Ogre 2 because I knew he was going to be the one making some very interesting plays to keep his team in the game, and you could still learn a lot. And that was exactly what it was. From 2002, 2003, all the way up till 2015, Ogre 2 was a dominant and reigning champion. He was the player that put together the current greatest team of all time. He teamed with Royal 2 and Snakebite for years, and they picked up Frosty. Obviously, Ogre 2 wanted to do that. He was like, let's get Frosty. He's amazing. So that would have been the team right there. He created that roster. So he's got so much impact on the sport. He is a god amongst players, man. I just cannot say enough good things about him. Good dude, too. I hang out in his stream all the time, and he loves the competition, but at the same time, he's just a guy. He's just a guy that can dominate the whole world. He's the world beater, the final boss.
Brandy, you've been kind of quiet back there. I see you scrolling through the Twitters. What's going on in your head? What's going on in LBT's head?
I'm just soaking it all in, man. This is a great moment. That video damn near brought me to tears. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I got the chills. I got to shout out the team, man. The team that went behind producing that. That was amazing. I mean, from start to finish, I loved every moment of it. Even the fade away at the end with the title card, right? They still had a little bit of audio in there because there's probably hours more of footage that they could have put in there, and it still would have been just as impactful because it sounds like Ogre 2 was just that impactful. It's very impressive. I mean, I'm at a loss for words right now.
I'm so excited that, you know, it was, I think they tweeted a while ago, in order to move on into the future, you have to honor the past. You don't know, there's an old saying, you don't know where you're going until you know where you came from. And we couldn't move into that next step in Halo Infinite, which again, guys, it's going to be huge. It's going to be astronomical. Halo Infinite esports is going to be bigger than you can imagine. But we couldn't take that next step until we knew where we were, until we knew where we came from, until we honor those behind us that paved the way for us to get where we're going to be. And I think you guys said it, you know, Anita, you said it, Louis, you said it, I think I even said it before, but big shout out to Muggsy. Big shout out to Hastings. Big shout out to Matt Klein and everybody else involved in this, because with this video, with these videos, you guys nailed it out of the park. With this idea of the top 25, you know, like I said, I think a Hall of Fame is it should be implemented in the future, but this top 25 got everybody talking, and to end it with the true GOAT is just magical, and it's beautiful at that. So thank you, HCS. I've been critical of you guys, but you nailed it with this. You guys nailed it with that video. That was beautiful.
Beautiful indeed. I'm still in shock. I'm watching the video now, right? And it's just footage upon footage, title after title after title. I mean, it didn't matter. Like this man dominated Halo for over a decade, and that is just You can't. I mean, you can't replace that ever. I know earlier I was saying that, you know, maybe if Lethul or Snakebite played their cards right, Royal 2, they could you know, jack that number 1 spot. But I mean, after watching this, I don't know. I don't know that it's possible.
Video made it harder.
Yeah, it dropped a lot of knowledge at me. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't paying too much attention in Halo 2 and early Halo 3 days, right? I was very young, right? And so it's just it's very eye opening.
You know,
yeah.
When Michael Jordan came out with that Netflix special, they said that actually elevated his career. This video might have actually elevated Ogre 2's career. Without him even picking up a controller, his career was already dynastic, and this might have just pushed it over just a little bit further, which, again, big ups to the HCS team for doing this. I'm sorry, Alex, go on.
I like how they started with Sundance, because Sundance really was there in the beginning. He started MLG. He's such a vital piece of our history, and he is a great orator. Anyways, he's a very good speaker, and he was a great commentator along with Puckett, and he's such a fun dude, being the face of MLG for so long. Sundance saying that about the Ogres in the beginning is absolutely how that needed to start. So I like that decision making from the trio that have been working on these videos. They really set up these extraordinarily. It couldn't have been a better presentation as far as the narrative that they brought. You know, this timeline that we've got to see roll out in front of us with the 24 videos before it. Or I'm sorry, what was it, 6? No, I'm sorry, 9 videos. Yeah, 9 videos before it, leading up to this point, getting to read all of the statistics from all of the players, and just coming to this conclusion. That has been such a fun story. I can just see myself going back and going on YouTube and watching these back and just being like, you know, this is it. This is our characters and our plot for Halo. This is what I love. This is the book, the storybook of Halo, and it all ends with that one. Man, it could not have been any more perfect. I am so happy about these 2 videos, Lethul to Ogre 2. Oh man, it's like I said, I had chills the entire time. I was like, a lot of emotions right now. I can barely even function. I can't even talk.
You mentioned Sundance, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm gonna just talk about again the impact that Halo has across all of esports, across all of gaming. You know, you saw Sundance, you saw Nick Merckx, you saw Gilbert Arenas. You're seeing these people in the background that are so influential across multiple industries that were affected by Halo. I said it before. Esports would not be where it is today if it wasn't for Halo, and these videos showed that. I was Sundance, Gilbert Arenas, Nick Merckx. Look at where Ninja is now. Look at where look at where even Apex, Snipe Down, Shiv. All of these top streamers, all these, you have to give it up, because again, what paved the way was Halo. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for Halo. So thank you very much for doing this, HCS. Thank you very much, Muggsy and Matt Klein, all you guys, because this was too good. Brandon, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm still so emotional.
No, I think that's well said. Honestly, I'm beyond impressed with the list. I'm beyond impressed with the videos. I'm beyond impressed with the impressions and the waves across all of esports right now that this list has made. Kudos to them, right? This was amazing. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I gotta say, any last words, guys? Nighty, I want to start with you before we take the attention away from the top 25. Nighty, go ahead.
Really, I've already harped on it. The content is brilliant. It's exactly what we need to have this. This is vital for Halo's future. So I'm glad that we ended on such a strong note, because now this is going to lead into even better stuff, and we're going to keep these interviews going, hopefully. I want to hear from all the new kids that are coming into Halo Infinite. I want to hear from all of the old heads. I want to make sure that we're getting every perspective from everybody. So putting out this kind of stuff is